Here we are again, another amazing Sunday. We are live, I believe, and I would love it if you guys would tell me if the volume's good, if the connection's good, and I'll tell you why I'm asking that specifically today in just a minute. I can see we've already got people in the chat, we've already got people liking. Absolutely blessed for everyone hitting the like button on the way in. And as you guys know, I can already see NFA Show is in the building, Tony Morrow is in the building, the Crypto King is in the building. So thank you guys for joining us. If you're watching right now, drop something in the comments so I know who I'm chatting with tonight. Well, it's tonight in the UK, it's probably not the night if you're coming in from America or anywhere like that. And it's a very interesting night here in the UK, and I'll get onto that in just a moment. First of all, I'm going to have a swig of the coconut water, just while we wait for a few people to join the chat. If you're new to the stream, then you'll know we tend to give it just a few minutes for people to come in and just join us. But I can see there's already quite a few people joining, which is freaking awesome. I'm just going to move my bag out of the way because it's annoying me a little bit. And I'm coming in live from the car in the UK. I like to do the streams from the car. I suppose it is a live drive, and I used to do them whilst I was actually physically driving. But now I actually prefer to do them parked up. And the reason being is because I can interact more with the chat. When I'm driving, it's obviously not a very good idea to be kind of looking at the comments too often, especially around London, because it's kind of nuts driving around London at the best of times. So I've just had confirmation from Tony that the sound is good. That's really cool, because right now in the UK, you might even be able to actually see physically the car moving from side to side. I haven't just rolled into Jurassic Park. This is an actual pretty full-on storm that we're having, and they've even given it a name and everything. And I really do hate it when they do that. They really hype up the storms in the UK now, and I have a feeling I know why they do that. Again, you could say that's a conversation for down at the docks, but I will kind of touch on it. Is that always before, they've only started recently naming storms in the UK, and they always come after a couple of days of some very interesting aerial activity, shall we say. And I don't want to go too much more into that really right now, but we are seeing now really quite a massive storm. There are like bins everywhere. People's front gardens are getting like totally destroyed and stuff. Mine's all right. It's pretty sturdy. I had to batten a few things down in the back garden. Mr. Wookums is going nowhere near it, as you'd imagine. He only weighs 7 kilos, so it's probably not safe for him to be out in the storm anyway, because as strong as he is, he could end up in a different county by the time the storm's finished with him. So let me just check the chat before we get into things. It's already great to have people joining the stream. I'm doing it at a different time today. Normally I do it much earlier, but I've had some family commitments today. Sunday is very much a family day for me. I've been over at some relatives' house with my family, had some great food, some good company, and obviously I wasn't in a position that I could do the stream, but I've pushed it right back, and it's quite late here, but probably not too late for you. So we've got sound is all good. We've got LCM's in the building. Hello LCM, my brother. Hope you're doing well. NFA show your boy Drip Ottergy. Yeah, we'll get on to that in a bit. You may have seen that Nelly has changed his name to the Dripottergy, as in otter, in the Telegram groups. And some of you may be wondering why. So we will touch on that at some point in this stream. Crypto Reaper sound is all good. Thank you, brother. Thank you for confirming that for me. And NFA show salute family in the chat. John Timothy's in the house as well. John, I hope you're doing well and enjoying your Sunday. And before we get started, I just want to say thank you for taking some time out of your Sunday to spend it with me and each other on this chat. I do really enjoy doing these live streams, these drip live drives and DeFi live drives, because it just gives us a good time to sort of just chill with some a tea or some coconut water or whatever beverage you're enjoying, and sort of discuss what's been going on. And it kind of feels as though every time I do one of these streams, we are getting more and more news coming through, more and more developments, more and more utilities are being dropped. So there is always a lot to discuss. And I sometimes take notes, just a few little sort of notes. On my walk and talks, I have an idea in my head and everything just comes, off the dome. And I kind of do it with the live streams as well, but I have an idea what I'm going to talk about, but it's been so busy that everything's just going to be off the dome tonight. So we're just going to have some fun, and I want everyone to sort of drop any questions or anything that you want to talk about, drop it in the chat, and we'll see if we can obviously get to it as well. So yeah, so it's been we've got some people in the chat now. Let's get started. It's been a very interesting week for DRIP. Obviously, we have the 19th that has now been and gone, and we saw a little bit of a sell-off, and I was absolutely expecting that. I know some people were kind of thinking, oh, it's going to moon on the 19th, but it's like that's never going to happen. There's going to be a lot of people thinking that they're going to make a smart play and wait for a pump and sell off. And I think, to be honest, a lot of people just sold off anyway when they didn't see the price action they wanted. The reason being is, even though all of the faucets have now been paid what they're owed, it doesn't mean that everyone's claimed that drip from their faucet. It's a very big difference. So it's nice to know that everyone now has their allocated amount of drip, and that it's no longer, no one's owed any more drip. That's brilliant. That's great. But there are still a lot of people that have tuned out this entire bear market. They've been nowhere to be seen. They've not been enjoying the red candles. They've not been seeing opportunity. They've not been engaged in anything crypto related. I think the bear market hit some people real hard, to be honest. And I know a few people that really got like suckered by the bull market. And to be honest, I think by the bear market. But I think the bull market did finish earlier than most people expected. I don't know anyone who has come forward and said, yeah, I took the right amount of profits. I took as many profits as I could have taken. I don't know anyone, even some really experienced people. They took some, but nowhere near as much as they would have done if they knew that it was going to kind of come down when it did. So a lot of people really suffered in the bear market, and I hope people are starting to see the light now. We must never ever base our entire life and our entire well-being and emotional well-being around anything in particular, especially not stuff like crypto. Crypto is a ton of fun, and it definitely has the potential to change people's lives for the better. But we should never ever be that emotionally invested that if something happens in the markets and our portfolios go red, that we should be having any kind of really truthfully negative feelings. We should not be that connected to things. So I'm certainly not in that place. I love cryptocurrency. I love DeFi. I love everything that crypto stands for in its purest sense, which is freedom, basically, in one word, if I was just going to have one word. And especially that comes from privacy coins, privacy projects, and DeFi and real decentralized finance. But obviously, even the centralized stuff has the ability to create some serious financial gains as well. Stuff like XRP, which I've chatted about in the past. I don't agree at all with what that project stands for. Not in the slightest. If XRP succeeds, then that probably means that the system itself is succeeding with their CBDCs and all that sort of stuff. And I'm not in any way, shape or form backing anything like that. But if you play your cards right, with certain projects, if they do take off, you can definitely create some freedom for yourself in your individual sphere, whether that be, moving out of the country, buying property in other less restrictive places, because let's be honest, I know we're going to get onto the drip stuff in a minute, but with CBDCs and stuff like that, there are certain countries that are way ahead of others with that sort of thing. And the safest places on earth right now are probably the most disorganized when it comes to government and stuff like that, and places where people don't necessarily trust their government as much as they do in countries like, I don't know, the UK, the US, and other sort of Western type of places like Canada, New Zealand, Australia. They're probably the most dangerous places on earth to live right now for freedom, you know, because they're so organized. And especially like the UK is an island, and that could potentially become a floating prison if they really wanted it to, because there's no way on or off. If you haven't got a plan B, if you haven't got a passport residency out of there, which I've made it a real thing to make sure I have that, at least one. And I do chat to other people in the DMs about this sort of thing, not too much on the live streams, but getting back to it, crypto can offer freedom in so many different ways. And it's definitely something I'm super interested in. I've met a lot of amazing people, including the people in this stream right now. I've met some amazing people in this space. And I do hope to meet a lot of you in real life when it comes to the peaks of these bull markets. And we can maybe have some meetups in the US, or if I'm down in Mexico, hopefully next year for a period of time. A few people from the sort of the southern states, we could maybe meet up somewhere. We'll see how things go. But I've met some great people, and I love the space. But I'm not ever basing my emotional well-being on anything. You know, we have to remember what's truly important. That is our health, and that is our family. And you know, you could be the richest man or woman on the planet. If you have not got your health, you have nothing, absolute zero. So yeah, let's keep things in context. But we are coming out of what seems to be the worst of the bear market, and DRIP is still here. It's still kicking, as I said it would be, and we are now seeing all of these new developments. So every single week, more and more stuff is coming, and only this week we have the white paper to Dripex, which is very, very detailed. As I said in my walk talk yesterday, I still need to go back, Friday, I still need to go back through and read it again, because there's probably stuff that I've missed in there. But I was focusing more on the amount of different ways that we can earn in that protocol. And there are so many. And I know a lot of people are very excited about the virtual miners. So just in case you didn't know, it's going to cost 1 BNB to buy a virtual miner. That miner will mine Dripex token, and you can then obviously go in some different directions with your strategy. You can also stake that Dripex token, and there's going to be different, I believe, like staking ladders and different kind of protocol, different ways you can do that. So I'm going to be interested to hear kind of what other people are coming through with, you know, some different strategies for that. So you can stake your Dripex token and get BNB back. Very, very bullish. You have the arbitrage side of things. You have the farming, the V3 pools. And off the top of the dome, I believe it's a Dripex and wrapped drip pool. And it's a wrapped drip. No, hold on. Wrapped drip and BNB pool. Okay, it's one of those combinations. But there are going to be options to farm the tokens. And of course, there's the hodling side of things. As drip becomes more and more deflationary, as more and more people claim their drip, and they'll do whatever they want to do with it, whether they want to hold on to it, put it in the kitchen sink, which we'll get onto in a bit, or whether they want to sell it. Every single move from now will help drip, because you're going to be burning drip in every transaction. So very, very cool stuff. And Dripex is going to bring a ton of hype. And that's exactly what we need, especially going into a slightly more bullish phase in this market. And we are kind of, in my opinion, kind of at the very back end of the bear market. I haven't got my moon boots on just yet. I'm definitely personally seeing from the charts and from some very, very clued up people that I associate with, they are kind of, you know, they've not got their moon boots on either just yet. There's definitely a potential for a solid pullback into the 30,000 realm. Some are saying even as low as the high 20s before we go you know, and I'm talking about Bitcoin here, of course, but Bitcoin is the sun and all of the altcoins are the planets revolving around it. That's why a lot of these altcoins, if you look at the logos they use, they're often planetary based. Ethereum, Ether, you know, the most potent light in the universe, it's all based around sort of astrology and stuff like that. And Bitcoin, with the big orange ball, that's the sun, and everything radiates around it, and Bitcoin controls the market. So we have to pay attention, whether you're invested in Bitcoin or not. I personally am. I do have a solid portion of my portfolio in Bitcoin, but whether you're interested in Bitcoin or not, you could be interested in DeFi, in other altcoins, but we have to pay attention to what Bitcoin's doing, because apart from a few isolated movements, that is what controls the market. So yeah, that is the sun, and definitely look into the logos of a lot of the other top altcoins. You're going to see some very, very interesting stuff. Again, you could say that's for a conversation for the docs as well, but you know, I don't know, it's nice to touch on that sort of thing. So let me just have a quick swig of coconut water. I'm going to have a quick look through the chat, but first things first. Oh God, need that. I had an absolutely savage workout earlier on, and sometimes the most savage ones are the ones where you have to be really quick, and I had Mrs. Millionz in my ear because of this family do that we had to go to. She was really, really hurrying me, so I ended up absolutely smashing it basically, and I'm going to know all about that tomorrow for sure. So let's just look at the chat quickly. My connection is okay, but because of this storm, I'm picking up the Wi-Fi from my abode, but I was hoping that it wouldn't be cutting out too much. I don't think it is. I've not heard anyone complaining about that. So Sue, how can I DM you? Sue, the best way to, if you want to DM me or anything like that, just go onto Twitter and hit me up on there, or you can go to the Telegram chat. If you're, I've got a couple of dead Telegram groups that accounts that I started up under other phone numbers before, and I can't delete them now because I haven't got the numbers anymore. So if you want to find the one I'm actually using, go into the Crypto Collective Telegram chat and find me on there, and you'll be able to DM me on there, or Twitter. So whatever you want, it's fine. It's up to you. Wolfpack, top 3 altcoins. Wow, that's a really tough question. Very, very tough question. I mean, obviously, you know, the no-brainer is to say obviously Ethereum, because it's the moon to the Bitcoin sun. So that's probably going to do big things. But in terms of you know, I'm not a big Ethereum investor personally. I'm quite heavy in XRP. I've got some Cardano, some VeChain. What else have I got that people would probably, you know, obviously BNB, I'm quite bullish on BNB as well. It's a very tough question because it depends on how you want to play it. I mean, the higher the market cap, obviously, the lower you're expected to, percentage-wise, you're expecting to make if things take off, which is why I like to look at very suppressed stuff that I believe is being suppressed. And don't copy me. don't, you know, I'm not saying to copy me at all, but I love stuff that's being fudded. I love stuff that is being, I mean, look at what happened to Solana. Everyone was getting fudded all the way down to like $7. And then as soon as things got cleared up, it absolutely went berserk. It went insane. And these are normally traps to lead people into fumbling their bags. So the people that really know their stuff, and people that maybe are even controlling the flow, are buying it all up cheap. And I'm definitely taking a punt on XRP for that reason. I think 2024, if you look at basic gematria, like numerology, 2024 is the letter X. 24 is the letter X. So 24 is technically the year of the X. So you could be looking at coins like XRP, XDC, XLM. And really, if you know your stuff as well, you know Bitcoin is actually XBT, the original ticker symbol, before it kind of got infiltrated. So, you know, there's a lot of these tokens that have got, you know, the X in it. and Elon Musk. I've got no personal love for Elon Musk. I believe he's definitely a kind of a controlled opposition, in my opinion. But he's just called his daughter X. He's changed his platform to X, and there's going to be a huge eclipse in the UK, in Texas actually, directly above where the X head office is. The eclipse is going to create a big X above that, and I believe that's in April at some point. So it's a very interesting year. People keep saying, oh, that's the X everywhere. Everything's X. Well, now you know. It's 2024, the year of X. So I'm taking a punt on XRP, and I'm taking a punt on Pulse Chain, because I believe that's being suppressed as well. And with all this SEC stuff, a lot of this is pantomime. And I do believe the XRP thing is complete pantomime. Massive suppression. Didn't even reach its all-time high in the last run-up. It didn't even reach its all-time high. So people are getting really frustrated with stuff like that. And that's when I like to buy it, when people are kind of getting really pissed off with it and giving up on it. So I don't know. I'm not saying that's the thing to do. I'm just saying that's what I'm personally doing. Right, so let me... So John Timothy, can you use smaller amounts, or does it have to be 1 BNB? I believe it's 1 BNB, John. I don't think you can use smaller amounts. It has to be 1 BNB, like a whole token. So if you're going to get involved, you know, you need to at least have 1 BNB ready. I'm quite conservative when I go into new projects and stuff like that. I'm definitely a blue chip crypto guy. But I do like to always have a nice portion aside for the newer plays, like the DeFi plays. So I'm definitely going to be buying a few miners. I've definitely got enough that I'm willing to put up for. I took some profits at Bitcoin at 47,000, which was the right thing to do, because I think it kind of touched on sort of 48 before coming back down. So I might use some of those profits and buy a few miners out of that. So yeah, it has to be one whole BNB basically, mate. Mike Owens said, take a look at Cetus. Is that pronounced right? Cetus protocol. I've not heard of that, Mike. So I'm always happy to look into different stuff like that. So I will take a little note of that. Definitely appreciate that. Tom, it's like you're the Pokemon Andrew Tate. So I just spat. That made me so laugh. I actually spat. It's like you're the Pokemon Andrew Tate evolves into. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'll take that. I mean, listen. Don't get me onto the likes of Tate either. His dad was C, I, and the A. I do believe that he is most likely controlled opposition as well. He's definitely doing some work on the whole, on that side of things. And I'm not saying that I disagree with everything he says. A lot of what he says is legit, and especially about the diminishing kind of masculinity in society is definitely a thing. And when they tell, basically, if you do the opposite of what like any centralized source tells you to do, you're probably going to do pretty well in life in general. And again, don't take my word for it. Just have a think about it, meditate on it, have a ponder on it. But ever since I've started doing pretty much the opposite of what the .gov says and what common knowledge and what the masses do, my life has got much more prosperous and much more enjoyable and much more blessed. And and the whole sort of thing about the masculinity side of things, I know it's a big topic right now, and I know I joke around and call people soy boys and stuff, and when they're soy raging and Twitter raging, but testosterone levels in men are kind of dropping by 1% a year, every single year on average. And I heard a statistic actually that a 60-year-old in the year 2001 has the same, on average, had the same testosterone as a 23-year-old in 2024. Think about that just for a minute. A 60-year-old in 2001, same testosterone levels as a 23-year-old in 2024. Now, something is going drastically wrong And I think we're seeing like this play out really in general day-to-day society. And they'll tell you that saturated fat is bad for you, when saturated fat is the precursor to all hormones. So if you want decent T levels, you have to have good saturated fat levels. But they tell you to not eat saturated fat and to to eat like alternative oils, and people end up eating like rapeseed oil and all these other like seed oils, destroying their testosterone whilst thinking they're doing the right thing when they've been given the wrong information. They told you not to eat eggs, more than 1 egg a day, because it could impact your cholesterol. Well, that turned out to be fake anyway. So it turns out you can eat as many eggs as you like. So all this sort of like information that comes through is normally fake, and is normally leading you up the wrong path. And as I've always said, the news stands for the broken compass, which is the north, east, west, south. It's there to mislead you and direct you off in the wrong direction, so you can be kind of manipulated back onto a different track. But we're getting on to stuff that's more for the docs, so I'm going to come back to that later. But let me carry on with the chat. So yeah, apparently I am the Pokemon that Andrew Tate evolves into. I'm definitely going to have to I'll have to show the missus that one. She's going to love that one. Rick Crypto, hello mate. I'm one of those who have not done any with my DRIP account. Going forward, is claiming DRIP from the Faucet going to give all that is available for that account? Yeah, Rick Crypto, when you go to your Faucet now, you're going to see your maximum amount to be claimed. That's going to be, so when you do your next claim, that will be all of the DRIP that you have in that Faucet. So there are basically everyone's got all of the DRIP they're owed. It's that simple now. So you have the option to build your own strategy with that DRIP. So you obviously will have to claim it from the Faucet, which is why we've been seeing slightly higher claim levels in the last few days, because people they're all out, they're all minted out, they're taking their DRIP and then starting to do stuff with it. So kitchen sink, or they're kind of creating liquidity with it on pancake swap, or they're wrapping it for wrap drip, which I've started doing a little bit of. So you can now start building your own strategy with that DRIP. But you might, not financial advice, never is, but you may as well claim it out, get it into your wallet where it's safe, and you can basically do whatever you want with it. Now, personally, don't copy me, but what I'm doing right now is I'm wrapping a portion of it. I've just put a bit more in the kitchen sink because that's performing so well. I'm actually making a fair few DRIP a day now, which is incredible, because from nostalgic reasons, I do miss the Faucet, of course. I think a lot of people do. And it's lovely to have that 1.5% per day, every day, coming in to the account and building up my DRIP bag. So I did mention in my last walk and talk, I just want to give a shout out to everyone else who's watching, by the way. We've got really amazing numbers watching tonight. And definitely, if you're watching this and you're just chilling and you've got your hands free, hit the like button. Don't switch off the video, of course. I want to have you here on the stream, but hit the like button, because that's going to help get the stream out to more people. We are growing numbers every week, and it's a real blessing that you guys are happy to spend a bit of your Sunday here with me from my car in the middle of a most likely a man-made storm, and the car's getting thrown around and there's rain everywhere, and it's actually creating a really good vibe. It kind of feels like I am in the middle of like Jurassic Park. There's going to be a T-Rex come out somewhere in a minute. But thank you to everyone joining me on the stream. It really is a real blessing. But where was I? Yeah, with the kitchen sink, I believe I was talking about. Yeah, so it's performing incredibly well. The TVL is constantly going up, and I mentioned in my last walk and talk that Deerslayer, who's a really cool guy, he is in the Dripex Telegram. He's in quite a few of the other DRIP Telegrams. He's very, very helpful. Helps people with different issues and problems and all that sort of stuff. Very coconut water. Knowledgeable guy. He's got a strategy which I was actually really interested in. I mentioned it in my last video. So basically, he's worked his way up to 20 claims available. Now, if you don't know, in kitchen sink, you can't just put your DRIP in and claim out every day. Which is really bullish that you can't do that, because you have to compound 3 times to get 1 claim, which means you're constantly paying taxes on those compounds, and you're getting paid out from the taxes. So they're the only kind of taxes I agree on in life. All other tax is theft unless it's voluntary. And so basically you are paying you're getting paid out from the taxes, and it's kind of forcing you in, if you agree to be in the system, to pay those compound taxes, which is 5%, or you pay 10% to withdraw. So you have to compound 3 times to do one withdrawal. So you have to pay 15% tax to get a withdrawal, and then you would have to pay like total, and then you have to pay 10% to take it out, and that's what's sustaining the system. And it's extremely good mechanics, in my opinion. It's stopping people from sort of just dumping on the system. Everyone has to kind of, you know, put their bit in to make it work. And the TVL is going up. The amount of drip it's burned now, I think, is around 2 million drip, which again doesn't sound a lot right now, but with drip as a deflationary asset, 2 million is going to go to 4 million, it's going to go to 10 million, it's going to go to 20 million, however long it goes on for. And I believe it's got plenty of legs because we are still in a bear market. I believe that we haven't even seen the beginning of this. When people start taking profits from some of the bigger tokens and start putting it into things like drip that have a higher kind of like 100x, 1000x potential, which in my opinion drip has, not financial advice. But when they start taking profits and putting into things like the kitchen sink, we're going to see a massive TVL growth, in my opinion. So I'm personally putting some in there. I'm only in the drip kitchen sink at the moment. I haven't put my wrap drip into the kitchen sink because I'm trying to keep it liquid, because I want to see what's going to happen with Dripex, and not just Dripex. Like this is what I'm saying. I've been banging on, probably like chewing people's ears off for a while now, saying that when we get to the 19th of January, it's a very, very big day. Not because I think, you know, not because we thought it was going to kind of moon on the day, but because drip is no longer going to be deemed as an inflationary asset. And devs are going to start coming out of everywhere, every nook and cranny, under every rock, out of out of every corner of the DeFi universe, and they're going to want to build for drip, and they're going to want to build for a community like this one. And I don't blame them at all for doing that, because they can make money for themselves, and if they create a good utility, they absolutely should make money from it. People get like, you know, a little bit ratty about dev fees and stuff like that. Look, if they are creating value, you know, this is not communist China. If they're creating value, then they should be getting paid for it, and they should you know, be remunerated for their work. And if they're making us all money, then absolutely. So you're gonna get a lot of devs wanting to create for a real like hardcore community like the drip community. And we've already seen the absolute OGs coming back, like G Money. So it's I'm actually in the Drip Warriors DAO. So if there's any Drip Warriors watching this, shout out to you guys. And G Money is obviously in there. He's also appears in the in the Drip Warriors chat as well. And he has just created a gas pump games, and it's going to be a series of games, and there's going to be different tokens involved. Very, very bullish. I've had a very quick read over what's been released on the white paper so far. In fact, what I probably will do is I'll link the white paper. Once we go off air, I'll go and find it and link it in the description if you want to have a look for yourself. But what's incredible, and you know, a lot of people have been asking, like, where is G Money? Like, has he fallen out of Forex? And you know, I'm not interested in the neighbours storyline. If they're talking, it's none of my business whether they're talking or not. It's none of my business whether they're friends or whether they have tea parties together. Not any of my business whatsoever. I wish them, you know, I wish them both well, whatever they're doing. But he is back creating for Drip again. And he is a trusted dev. He has got a track record. He's very kind of transparent with what he's doing. He creates quality products, and it's amazing to see him back doing it for Drip again. So Drip, so Gas Pump Games is going to have a drip station. So the drip station is going to be the first game that is released, and it's looking really, really cool. And I'm excited to see more about it. And with G Money, this is going to come real soon. This is coming very, very soon. We probably won't be waiting very long at all for when it drops. He may stealth launch it. I don't know. I'm all for stealth launches because there are enough people in this community that will spread that word like wildfire, myself being one of them. You know, I'll jump on here at whatever time and try and give you guys some updates or whatever. And there's people on Twitter, there's people on Telegram. Word spreads like wildfire. We saw it with the kitchen sink. That was a stealth launch. And look at it, it's absolutely taken over drip. We didn't need a 4-week run up, an 8-week run up. We didn't need any build up. They literally take a working product, drop it on the market, and the drip community will do the rest. And just wait and see what happens. And go and look at drip kitchen sink, and tell me that wasn't a successful launch. I believe it's holding like a more than pancake swap. I think it's like the biggest holder of drip right now. Matt and Erica over at Pulse Drip, they're doing incredible stuff, and it really is a blessing to have them creating for drip. So massive shout out to them. I would actually like to do an AMA with Hustleman Matt at some point. I've never like reached out to him personally before, but it would be really cool to do that because I think it could be a really cool sort of AMA just to chat over some of the incredible stuff that he's bringing to this community. And like, he didn't have to do kitchen sink. I don't think the devs are making anything off of that. It's basically like a gift, I'm pretty sure. They didn't have to do that at all. But they didn't stop at drip either. They did wrap drip one as well. So real massive shout out to them guys. So we don't need like these huge like build ups. I kind of am enjoying the build up of Wasteland Labs. They're putting a lot of work into that. It's not just like a timer going down where, oh, here we go, we've got to wait another like 4 weeks for this to come, boring, like switching off. They're actually creating a storyline, which is pretty cool. And I don't know what that's going to be yet, but they're putting a lot of effort in, and I know pretty much from the videos it's going to involve wrap drip as well. So and talking of that, I don't know if I just mentioned that G Money is going to be involving wrap drip in the drip station. So just bear that in mind as well. That's going to be a wrap drip, and Dripex is going to be wrap drip. It looks as though Wasteland Labs is going to be wrap drip. And fresh news off the press as of yesterday, I believe, I was tagged by Lady Mania in a tweet, and it was about the return of BB, an OG drip developer. Again, people, I mean, I personally have not heard anything from him for a long time. He's a trusted developer, a quality developer, and he's returning with something for drip. So exactly what I predicted would happen is happening. We are getting like an onslaught of quality devs coming back to the space because they can build for drip now, because we're not going to be inflationary forever. And we will eventually, not straight away, but we will eventually see a slowing down of that minting, and depending on the health of the tax vault will depend on how quickly we stop minting new drip. So I think we're around like 220 million, which is kind of what we thought we would be by this date. So, you know, there isn't that much more room for minting. It will carry on a bit longer. So, you know, don't get too uptight about it. It's going to happen a bit longer. There's, at the moment, is a bit of a buying opportunity, in my opinion, for me. So I'll probably buy another bag of drip, most likely at these prices. There's been a nice little sell-off where I think there was a lot of bots. As we now know, the bots have been in action with drip, and that's why we've been getting all these consistent sales. It's not just been people with like endless wallets, it's been bots. So we've had a real massive fight on our hands, and we've come out the other end, and we are holding steady around that 3 cent mark, which is almost a 200% gain from its bottom, and it's hanging in, and we are getting now these developments coming through. So very, very exciting times. I do believe as well that soon enough we're going to have a larger number of YouTubers coming back and talking about drip again, after not talking about it for a long time, going all around the houses with all these other DeFi protocols, most of which have gone to zero, most of them that have rugged, most of them probably got their nans into it and they lost their money, and you know, they're probably going to come back to drip soon. So, but you know, again, all eyes on drip, all eyes on drip. I'm happy for everyone to be kind of coming back to the space and spreading good vibes, and I believe there's good reason for it as well. There is too much to be ignored right now. If you're ignoring drip right now, I don't know, maybe that's a mistake. I don't know. I'm certainly not, and I haven't done, obviously, as you know, through the hardest, darkest of times. And people were like, oh, why are you still doing videos on drip? It's because I believe in this community. I believed that the right moves would be made by the teams to rectify the hyperinflation issue that we had, and that is exactly what's happened. I did believe all along that people would come back to drip and start developing again, which they have. I did believe that we'd see price appreciation, which we are slowly seeing, and as the supply gets lower and lower, I'm sure that's going to be more of a potential right there. So hold on, I haven't checked the chat in a minute, so let me just go through that quickly. We've got Kurto. Sorry, it's on my phone, it's quite small. Carito. Hello. Yeah, hello to you. Hola. Great to have you on the stream. We've got Blue Gorilla, Top G. Yeah, I mean, I'm apparently the Pokemon that Top G turns into, so I can work with that. Except my dad wasn't in the CI and the A, and I definitely haven't been funded by the CI and the A. So I'm maybe even more legit than Top G, you know. So right now I'm not sitting in a Bugatti, but we'll save that for next year. When I was staying in Mexico for those 4 months, we spent some time in Santa Fe. It's a really upmarket part of Mexico City, actually. It's very cool around there. That's where I was doing actually a lot of the walk and talks from a place called Santa Fe, which is on the kind of the outskirts of Mexico City, and it's where all of the high-end car dealerships are. You know, if you walk through and you see like all the Rolls Royce garages and all of the McLaren garages, and you know, really incredible stuff. So I earmarked a couple, although I'm definitely not one for, like, you know, my version of wealth is freedom, and I'm going to say it right now. That is, you know, I know so many people that are driving. You know, I drive, you know, a nice car. We lease hire our cars, so we don't own the car, so to speak. We kind of, you know, we pay monthly and then we exchange it for a new one every couple of years or whatever. But I know people that kind of have to have like the top of the range car, like the newest of the new, and they're spending so much per month either trying to buy it or leasing it, and they're living in their mum's basements, you know. And it's like, that to me is a form of slavery. That really is a form of slavery. I don't understand that sort of stuff. It makes no sense to me. Like, there is a quote. Let me just plug my phone in because it's about to run out of batteries. One sec. There's a quote, actually, and I can't remember who it was from, but basically, if you can't afford two of something, you can't afford it. Now, marinate on that for a minute. That speaks volumes to me. So that's kind of how I weigh up purchases right now in my life, is that I don't care what financial level I'm at, you know. That is probably how I will always conduct myself. If I can't comfortably afford two of what I'm about to buy, then I'm not going to buy it. And for me, financial freedom and geographical freedom is way more important than a Bugatti, you know. It's way more important, and that is a big part of the traps that if you want to quote Tate, it's a big part of the traps that the Matrix will lay out for you, and that's to try and rein you in to training yourself to liabilities, training yourself to things that you don't need, to stuff that you want but you don't need, and instead of making the right moves to free yourself from the burden of constant liability, from constant like black holes of money, you know, where people are just throwing money away all the time. Look, we've all done it, and but a lot of people never kind of look back and think, do you know what, I'm doing things the wrong way around here. I'm buying liabilities and I'm not buying assets. So yeah, I like cars. I've got an interest in cars, and I do like, you know, some nice stuff, but it's not important. It's not important. First and foremost, get your SH1T together. Get yourself in a position where you are self-sustained, where you're no longer chained. This is for me. You guys might totally disagree with this, and that's fine. But get yourself to a point where you don't have to be chained geographically. You might be totally happy where you are, but there may come a time where you're not, and you need to be able to say, well, look, if I want to live somewhere else, can I do that? Can I do that right now? If not, it's time to make the plan to make sure you can do it. The kid who plays Fortnite, say Fortnite is the best for $1,000. What's that means? Say that. Not sure what that means. Top Hat VR. The kid who plays Fortnite, no one likes it. Okay, I'm missing out here. I'm not 100% sure. I know what Fortnite is, but John Timothy, hit the like button. Yes, brother, definitely do. In fact, I can see a lot more people have done that, so I appreciate that shout out. Is that Zion? Is that, am I saying that right? Silent T. Bottom G. Bottom G. I've seen some videos of Bottom G. Oh, that really tickled me the first time I saw. If you go on Instagram and look up Bottom G. Oh, that's some funny stuff right there. John Timothy, looking forward to Wasteland. Yep, me too, mate. Me too. I'm keeping some wrap drip, and I'm keeping it liquid because it seems as though everything is going to be based around wrap drip, because there's going to be no taxes, as we know. No taxes. It's going to be super easy for developers to incorporate into their platforms, and it definitely has a potential for price pumps because there's so much lower supply, and there's pretty much always going to be a lower supply of wrap drip because it's a 1-to-1 ratio with OG drip, and not everyone is going to wrap their drip, so there's always going to be a lower supply. And as we know, supply and demand, there's a good chance that we've already seen the price sort of fluctuate. So it's probably, for me, I'm up for having some exposure. So I'm looking forward to Wasteland Labs and seeing what they bring with it. Rick Crypto, we need a how to wrap drip video. Rick, I actually did touch on that on one of my recent videos. If you have a look at, I can't remember what the title was now. It was about the burning of the AI drip NFT to get wrap drip, but I did also touch on the burn page, and I did leave the link in the video. So if you look back a couple of videos, I do give a quick guidance on how to quickly wrap your drip. But because we're live on stream, and why not, you just basically go to aidrip.xyz/wrap. Go to the aidrip.xyz, then look on the tab, and you'll see there's a page where you can wrap your drip. So you connect your wallet, and then you can just put your drip in at the top, how much you want to wrap. It'll bring up how much wrap drip you're going to get underneath, minus the 10% tax, don't forget. So don't worry, if you put 100 drip in and it says you're going to get 90 wrap drip, don't worry, that's the 10% tax. That's the tax that everyone has to pay when they do that. So just have a look on there. And basically you just, bang, you click and it goes into your wallet. And if you can't see WDRIP in your wallet, just go back to the AIDRIP.xyz, go down to the bottom of the page, right to the very bottom, and it'll come up docs, like documents. Go in there and look up the token address. On the side column it says contracts. Go into contracts, look up the token address for WDRIP BSC. Have a look on there. Copy the contract address, paste it into your MetaMask under tokens. Or you go to tokens, you go import new token. You copy that address in, and it will bring up your WDRIP in your MetaMask or Rabby, whatever you're using. So it's very, very simple, very straightforward stuff. So have a look at the video, and you know, if I went through that too quickly, have a look at the video. It'll show you how to do it, brother. John Timothy, WDRIP is 31, I think. Yes, it's a little bit higher, not much, but it's a little bit higher than OG DRIP right now. Electrician man, Danny D is in the house. It's great to see you, brother. It was really cool to be able to jump on your stream last night, just as a viewer. It was a bit too late for me to actually physically jump on because I had to be a bit wary of Millionz not waking him up. We've got work going on in the house at the moment, so it's I'm having to do the stuff from upstairs, and I didn't want to wake him up. So it was great to jump in and chat to you guys in there. And I'm going to be getting on to a little bit of stable swap, you know, towards the end of this stream, because no video or stream will be complete without talking about probably what is the best protocol maybe that I've ever seen. And I don't say that lightly. I really, really don't. You guys all know that I've always said I'm sort of 80-90% blue chip, and I've got a big love for DRIP and Pulse Chain and stuff like that. But stable swap has blown my knickers off, and I can see a ton of hearts emojis going up the screen right now. So it appears that a few of you agree with me on that. So Danny, it's great to have you on the stream, brother, and it was great to sort of have a little bit of a catch up. And it's awesome to hear that stable swap is potentially going to be spreading out to Latin America, Central America, because as I was saying on the stream last night, I know some Mexicans, I know some expats who may be very, very interested. I've got quite a big community of people out there, and many of whom are always looking for those passive income plays. They're always looking for those ways of escaping the geographical chains, the geographical slavery that most people are in. You know, I'm in the process of fully freeing myself from that right now, and I know people that have done that, or ahead of my time, or ahead of me, who started earlier, and I know people that are really working on that right now. And stable swap could be a massive part of that plan for them, and I'm definitely going to be discussing it with them lot when I go back to Mexico. And I don't know when that's going to be. I was actually hoping to be there in February for a specific reason, but after spending 6 months of 2023 there, we're having to push back when we go out there next. So we're probably looking at maybe halfway through 2024. I'm going to be going back out there with the family, probably for 4 to 6 months, hopefully. So I'm getting to that stage where, you know, we're really working on that that geographically free existence, and stable swap is definitely a part of that plan. So I've got to shout out Danny D and Crypto Lucky for everything they're doing. I'm mega bullish on stable swap. It's going from one strength to the next. It never ceases to amaze me and surprise me what's going on. Every time I click on there, look, I'll get onto it in a minute. I was in the flow about something else, but seeing Danny come in the stream, I had to just shout him out, and I can see a few of you guys are shouting out to Danny as well. So all the way in from the Philippines. I love the Philippines. I can't wait to be back in the Philippines. Spent a couple of months there in 2019 before the whole world went crazy. So it's great to be out there, you know, before all of that. And it's got a very strong place in my heart. As I've said before, got engaged in the Philippines at sunset on a pretty much a deserted island. So I can't wait to get back out there. I can't wait for Alakazam Island to come about, and to get together with some of you guys over there. So that's going to be very exciting indeed. people talking about they're loving some Fortnite. I've never played it. Never played Fortnite. The only game I've not played games in a long time, but I am a massive fan of like GTA. I did spend a bit of time playing GTA back in the day, and huge fan of GTA. But I don't know much about Fortnite. So we've got Chase, what's up, Millionz? New era for DRIP. It certainly is, mate. It certainly is. As you know, as I've been saying for a while, don't get too, you know, pressed on the price right now. We've got more minting to go because we still haven't seen everyone return yet. There's still people hiding under their covers after the bear market that haven't come out yet, that haven't come out and seen that things are changing. I'm still getting loads of DMs. I'm still getting loads of comments on my videos and stuff saying like, what's going on with DRIP? Why can't I hydrate? A lot of people don't even realize that the Faucet stopped. So there is still going to be a fair amount of minting to go. People are going to have to claim that DRIP at some point. It just depends on how healthy the tax vault gets as to how much impact that's going to have on the minting side of things. But, you know, it is indeed a new era. And I think that's really been shown by seeing these devs come back and say, look, we've always been here for DRIP. We've just been waiting for the right moment, waiting for the stars to align and for that inflation to stop, or definitely to see a future of a deflationary DRIP, even if we're going to inflate a little bit further from here. No big deal, because these utilities are actually going to help us, you know, get to that point quicker. So it's so awesome to see these real OGs, these real top, you know, the top G's of DRIP, if you want to call it that, you know, making stuff happen for DRIP again. And I'm pleased that I stuck with the community. I'm pleased that I stuck with the channel. I'm pleased that I stuck, you know, building my relationships with you guys. And I'm pleased that I started doing these live streams, because we've been having such an amazing turnout every single Sunday. You know, for these the turnouts for these live streams have just been getting better and better and better. And it's kind of, it feels so nice just to be, you know, a dude sitting in his car and just chatting to some awesome people, and people taking some time out of their busy weekends to spend a bit of time, you know, with me and the community, you know, in these chats. So I'm very, very blessed about that, and I'm very happy to see that DRIP is entering this new era. Very, very exciting stuff. Chase, much love from Melbourne. Wow, we've got people from all over the world in this chat right now. We've got people from the Philippines, from Melbourne. I know we've got people from, it looked as though we had someone from Latin America there with their hola. And we had, we've got like people like Tony Morrow, who I believe is in Texas. I always forget. She's told me twice where she's coming in from. I'm pretty sure it's Texas, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think LCM is from Texas, actually. I'm pretty sure, because I was surprised last week when he was saying it gets cold in Texas. I'm like, what? Texas is like, that's got to be real steamy down in Texas, right? Surely. But apparently in the winter it gets cold in Texas, so you learn something every day. It's been fun actually looking at properties in Texas. My wife and I were sort of just looking through recently, and it's incredible what you can buy in Texas compared to what you can buy here in London. Our house we bought, I mean, you'd be amazed for the price of our house here, which is, you know, it's a nice house, a nice part of London. But compared to what you can get in Texas, it's an actual mansion, like a freaking 5-bedroom mansion with land, with like 5 toilets, all en suites. Like, it's incredible, absolutely incredible. So, you know, if I was going to move to anywhere in America, I'd probably consider somewhere like, maybe like Texas or somewhere like that. So, I'm just seeing, I've missed a couple of comments that I was going to actually touch on. I'm just trying to find them again. Yeah, Tony Morrow, yeah, it is Texas. Yeah, there you go, I did get it right. I got that bang on. So we've got Portugal in the house from number 1R8. We've got Georgia in the house from John Timothy. We've got people from literally all over the place. I know if I do these streams a little bit earlier, I get people, like more people from the UK involved. Like right now, it's a Sunday, late, and people have probably got work tomorrow and stuff like that. So I actually get a few less people from the UK and a few more people from other parts of the world. Although we have someone from, we got NERB, am I pronouncing that right? I always like to ask because I don't like getting pronunciations wrong. I've just been pulled up on my pronunciation of Melbourne. When I said Melbourne, it didn't feel right actually, and I've never said it like that in my life, and I don't know why I just said it like Melbourne. That sounded totally like I was going to use a word. I'm not going to use that because it's not. I don't want to offend anyone on this stream, but Melbourne. That's how I always say it. Nelly, so I don't know why I said it like Melbourne. I think what it is actually, funnily enough, is that Liverpool were playing Bournemouth today, and I'm an occasional football fan. If I'm with family on a Sunday and the football's on, I am a Liverpool fan in that respect. So I was watching Bournemouth. Bournemouth is if you don't know the UK, Bournemouth is quite a nice kind of seaside town on the southern coast of the UK. I've been there a few times. It's very nice, quite quaint in parts, and that's why Liverpool are playing Bournemouth today. That's probably why I said Melbourne, like a total idiot. So yeah, you're right, Nelly. It's Melbourne, and I've got a friend who's actually in Sydney, so I don't think he's watching this. He's not really a crypto guy. Most of my family don't watch these streams. Mrs. Millionz kind of comes in every now and then. She's actually into crypto. Mrs. Millionz has got quite a nice portfolio, and I'm going to talk to her about stable swap soon, because I never bring like people straight into stuff. I love to know exactly what's going on and how it's all working, and so I can give the best possible sort of information on it. But I did speak to her a little while about it, ago about it. She's got some money she probably wants to invest soon enough, end of tax year and all that. So, but she's got quite a decent crypto portfolio. So she's got some NFTs, she's got some a little bit of DeFi, mainly blue chips and stuff like that. So she follows crypto, but not. I can't talk to her like this. She gets totally bored. She'll tell you straight up. She doesn't like sitting and talking about it like I do. So that. Big part of the reason why I love these live streams is that I know that everyone who's watching is into crypto, and it's I can get it off my chest. And you probably realise, I sit in my car on my own, and sometimes I chat for over an hour about crypto, and you guys are just like, yeah, we love crypto as well, and you're all chatting about it in the chat as well. LCM said it's cold in Texas right now. Again, it really blows my mind. I've never associated Texas with the cold. So NERB, so I did pronounce that right. NERB is Liverpool. So great to see you coming from Liverpool. I know for a fact it's going to be cold in Liverpool right now. If it's cold in London, and this storm, this most likely a man-made storm, but let's talk about that another time, as I always say, is probably hitting Liverpool as well. And it's always colder up north. Always colder, pretty much, than it is in London. So I'm sure Nerm's got his thermals on, his or her thermals on right now. Orpington Kent is Magni. I know Orpington. Yes, I've had friends in Orpington, and I actually had an ex-girlfriend in Orpington many moons ago, well before Mrs. Millionz. But I know Orpington quite well, actually. Funnily enough, so it's awesome to have someone from Orpington coming in. As I've mentioned before, I'm more sort of southeast, sort of London. We've got Electrician Man, and I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, I'm sorry guys. Look, it's been a long day. I've not eaten and quite enough. I've had a crazy workout. My brain glycogen is probably a little bit low, and I'm just running on coconut water right now. So that's sweep the Melbourne under the carpet, and it'll be Melbourne from now on. I can assure you of that. NFA show. Sup, Danny? Yeah, Danny is in the house. Come on the Reds. Yep, 4-0 win today. That was awesome. I know Nelly's an Arsenal fan. They're also combating for the #1 place in the Premier League, which I don't believe they're going to get. I think Liverpool are going to probably see it through, but we shall see. Crypto Reaper is UK as well. Whereabouts in the UK, Crypto Reaper, if you don't mind letting us know. I know the UK is not a massive place, but it's always cool to know where people are coming in from. Chase, it's more like Melbourne. Melbourne. Okay, let me say it like the Australians say it. Melbourne. Okay. Nerb says, are you on TikTok? Yes, I am on TikTok, but I've not been uploading regularly on TikTok. You will be able to find me at Drip Millionz on TikTok. I should probably really be uploading everything I upload on YouTube. I should be putting it on Twitter as well. Maybe I'll start doing that, because I know you can kind of build up some pretty good steam on quite quickly on TikTok. So maybe I will start doing that. But yeah, if you want to front run that and follow me on there, it's at Drip Millionz with the Z at the end, of course, and follow me over there. And maybe I'll start getting a bit more active on there. I've really been focused on YouTube, on connecting with you guys on the lives, on doing walk and talks, and doing. If I can't do a walk and talk because the weather in this country is depressingly rubbish, it gets rained off quite a lot. Sometimes I'm ready for a walk and talk and I look outside and it's raining. I'm like, you know, I don't want to get my phone and my microphone wet, and it's just like, and it's windy, it wrecks the sound. Even though I've got like a windshield on this, it still wrecks the sound anyway. Mr. Wookums hates the rain. He won't walk in the rain, or he'll walk like 10 yards and have a pee or a dump, and he wants to go straight back home, and it's just like, it's just not worth the aggro. So sometimes I do them driving, which can be a lot, you know, easy in that respect. And yeah, I started on Twitter, then went to YouTube, and they're the two platforms I've been really focused on and connecting with people on. But TikTok, you know, if you guys want me to focus a bit more on TikTok and put more stuff on there, I'm open to that. I might just do that. We've got NFA show, Liverpool cleaned them up. I was hoping for an upset. No, yeah, sorry, bro. There was no upset today. 0-0 at half time was looking a bit dry, but yeah, we saw it through. Easy business. No, it's so windy. Bins are all over the road. Yeah, same here, mate. Same here. Bins everywhere. I'm surprised I haven't seen any people fly by. To be honest, it's that crazy down here at the moment. But I've got to say, yeah, it's pretty mad out tonight. Let me just mention Tony Morrow quickly. Got to run Millions. Thank you for the stream. Enjoyed it, Tony. It's an absolute blessing to have you here. As always, absolute drip legend, DeFi legend, stable swap legend. So it's been great having you on the stream. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I know you've got plenty of your Sunday left over in Texas. So enjoy a chilly Texas, and I'll catch you in the next one, Tony. So great to see you, and take care. And we've got Chase. What sort of exposure do you have in kitchen sink? I've got about 25% of my liquid drip in kitchen sink. So that was my risk threshold, and that was obviously earlier as well, when we knew less about how it was going to perform. So I've maintained around, as I've been getting more drip out the faucets, and as I've been buying more drip, I've been keeping up with that 25% kind of ratio. So for me, that kind of works, because I see that as a really good longer play, because overall I know I'm going to make about 3x what I put in. But I also do want to have drip available liquid as well, because we know we do have a lot of other stuff coming from these other devs, and I don't want to have it all tied up and only be able to take out, like, you know, on claims, because of course I'm trying to build those up. And as Deerslayer said, I don't know if Deerslayer has ever been in, I know he's on Twitter a lot, but I don't know if he's ever in the live streams and stuff like that with us guys. If he's not, we should get him in here, because he's really good with like the strategies and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm trying to build up my claims, so I'm not really withdrawing. I haven't taken much out since I put my initial lump sum in. I've only really added, and I'm trying to get my claims up to at least 20. And then actually, I didn't actually get around to saying what his strategy was, because as always, we go off on some fun tangents and stuff on these streams. But basically, he gets his claims up to like 20. And then when he does claim, he'll leave it running for a couple of days to build it up to the maximum amount. Because as you know, or as you should know, after 2 days, it stops accumulating drip. So that's really good because it makes you interact with the contract. That's why I love it so much. And after 2 days, it peaks out. And then you have to either compound or you can claim the 2 days. So he'll claim the 2 days worth and he'll reinvest 25% straight back in to the kitchen sink. So that's keeping the constant sort of the money loop, the constant token loop going. And I really like the idea of that. So I haven't got my claims quite up to 20 yet, I don't believe, because I've been so busy over the last few months, obviously with things like mini millions and stuff like that all happening. But I've really, like, every night now, before I go to bed, as an absolute non-negotiable, I go through my different accounts and make sure that I'm dealing with compounds, and I'm dealing with, like, you know, my pole strip gardens, I'm doing my pole strip faucet, kitchen sink, all these things. And what I'm going to start doing is getting my total claims up to around 20, making a claim, like a double claim, and then reinvesting back in and keeping that circuit going. So I am taking drip out, but I'm also giving it back in to keep the numbers going. So I hope that kind of answers the question, but it is around 25% of my total drip. So I'm happy with that right now. I might increase that 5% to maybe 30% because it is performing so well. And now we know that TVL is showing no signs of slowing down, and drip is just getting more and more bullish by the day, in my opinion. So I might push that up to like 30%. But that's roughly where I am with it, mate. Crypto Reapers from Yorkshire. I love Yorkshire. I absolutely love Yorkshire. It's a beautiful part of the UK. We've got a really cool camper van, and we've done a lot of trips around Yorkshire, the Yorkshire Dales, beautiful little villages. The air is so fresh up there, you know, and it's just a really beautiful part of the country. So you guys get the freshest of air up there as well. And of course, you know, you've not far from there, you've got like the Lake District and stuff like that. It's such a beautiful part of the UK. I haven't got a huge love for the UK, but there are really some very, very beautiful parts of it. And me and Mrs. Millionz did quite an extensive Yorkshire trip, but we also did the NC 500, which basically goes from the east coast of Scotland, right the way up to the tip of Scotland, right around the Highlands, right the way round to the west coast, and finishing off down near Isle of Skye. And we went over onto the Isle of Skye, did like a 2-week tour in the van. Really, really amazing stuff. So yeah. But anyway, that was a tangent. But yeah, Yorkshire is really cool. So thanks for letting me know. We've got, does anyone know the max supply of WDRIP? Off the top of my head, brother, I don't know. I know it's obviously a lot lower than the supply of drip right now. If anyone knows, put it in the comments. The max supply of wrap drip right now, because I can't come out of this stream without losing connection. So if anyone does know that, definitely drop that in the chat. Crypto Ripple, I'm buying a camper van this year. Yeah, they're really cool, man. They're really nice to be able to, you know, just pack up and just go. You know, especially we've got off-grid capabilities of like 2 weeks. We've got like, we took the van, we had the van sort of custom built with our spec, and we didn't realise that we wanted actually more juice, you know, more off-grid juice. So we took it to another specialist, and he rigged it up with like extra solar panels on the roof, and an extra and he replaced the leisure battery and put in 2, like created more. So basically, if we wanted to go off-grid, we've got like two weeks worth of off-grid juice, and it's nice to know that, you know. Obviously, if you go to campsites and stuff, you can always plug in and whatever, but it's really cool to have that. NFA show, I've got ahead, but about to go to a meeting, talk soon. Thank you for joining on the stream, Nelly. It's always a blessing to have you here, brother. It's been great getting to know Nelly and the Crypto Collective this year and last year. So it's awesome to have you on the chat, bro. And I can't wait to start doing Crypto Collective live streams as well, once a week. So let's definitely get that in the diary. I know everyone's really mad busy at the moment, being January, but I'm looking forward to that. And Nelly's another guy who I am definitely going to meet in real life, you know, this year or next year, 100%. We live on opposite ends of the world, but yeah, I've got a sort of a brother from overseas there, so it's awesome to have you on the stream as always, mate, supporting the stream and keeping it going for the Crypto Collective. So I appreciate that, bro. Enjoy the meeting. don't get in, you know, don't get in trouble. You've got a great way with words, so I can't imagine you trying to keep things seriously in a meeting. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, trying to keep things like serious without, you know, maybe trolling someone or something. But but enjoy, mate. We'll catch up soon anyway. But we've been going for like an hour and 15, and we've still got an amazing number of people on the stream. So it really has been awesome. And I want you to smash the emojis, you know, any emoji you like if you're in stable swap, because it is such a freaking incredible platform. And I've actually, I was kind of meditating the other day, and an idea came to me of some incredible stable swap YouTube content that I could potentially do in the not so distant future. I can't do it right now, but I think it's going to be real mind blowing. And you know, before I do it, I'll chat with a few people in the stable swap group. If you're not in the stable swap group, go and join the Telegram group. It is the most positive, supportive, knowledgeable Telegram group, along with the Crypto Collective Telegram group, that I've ever come across. They're the two places that I spend most of my time. I do love the Drip Warriors as well, so if anyone's from the Drip Warriors, you know, smash the emojis as well, because you know, I'm in the Drip Warriors DAO as well, so I've definitely got a lot of love for them guys and what they've been doing during these dark times for Drip, and they've really kind of come through the other end with a lot more is coming. We've obviously got Drip Marble Run, and we've got other stuff, you know, which I'm not sure if I can talk about some of the other stuff yet, so I won't mention it, but there is a lot coming, more than people realise, and that includes G Money as well. More is coming from G Money, and again, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it's yeah, it's lots coming, you know, lots coming. But yeah, stable swap, I have to, you know, I am very passionate about that project. You know, it's been awesome getting to know Danny over the last year as well. I really got to know him online when I was in Mexico, because we did some streams, did some Zoom chats and stuff like that, and I got to hear a lot of stuff about stable swap before anyone else did, and it was really exciting for me. And I'm very good at keeping secrets, very good at keeping secrets, but it's great to be able to, you know, talk about everything now so openly, and to see it performing the way it's performing is just is incredible. And we're going to be at, you know, $1 million pretty soon. It's not going to be long before we're hitting $1 million worth of liquidity, and it won't be long before we're hitting sort of you know, those 1,000 liquidity providers. So I am very passionate about the stable swap platform, and I love the fact that it's zero volatility. I love the fact that it just does, it's basically like, for me, it's having an employee, or it's having a side business, because that's how it's operating for me right now. I can just set and forget all of my stakes, and I'm every time I hit 50, I'm putting it back in. Every time I hit 50, I'm putting it back in, and it's just like having a side business, basically. So I am really pumped to be part of the stable swap community and see it performing like it is right now. I'm sorry if you guys are having any issues with the volume. It is absolutely hammering it down with rain right now, and it's pretty loud, but I love the rain. I love storms. It really does there's a lot of energy about them, you know, even if I think they probably are potentially man-made. It's still nice. I love storms, and I love the storms we're getting in Mexico, because you get loads in Mexico City, and I used to love, you know, just all of that energy that comes from storms. It really, really does do it for me, you know. We've got Salaf saying, hello, are you famous or something? You look really familiar. No, I'm not famous. I'm not famous. Well, I'm, you know, maybe the drip community know about me. I've got like over 1,500 subscribers now. I don't know if that counts. I won't let it go to my head, don't worry. But it's no, I'm not famous, but I am a published songwriter. I've had tracks out on Sony and stuff like that. So some people may know me from that world, maybe. I've done some, you know, some pretty cool stuff in music and stuff like that, which I wish I could do more of right now. But because of the amount of stuff going on right now, I'm doing it more for the love at the moment. But I do have like a few tracks on Sony, and I have a few tracks with publishers around Europe and stuff like that. But I wouldn't say I was famous, but it's cool it's cool that you think that anyway. It's dope. We've got Max and TV. It's the top H, free top H. Love that. It's hilarious. It's like the off-brand Andrew Tate. Oh, it's funny. That's funny considering you know, I mean the whole Tate thing. Look, I don't buy into any particular stuff that's going on in the mainstream. I don't buy into anything. He's very, very entertaining. The guy's obviously very sharp. He has a very, very entertaining delivery, and you can take a lot of truth of some of the stuff that he says, but I do think he's controlled opposition. But you can call it off-brand Tate, drips Tate. That's funny. I love that. He's the one who does the you take dances. Yeah, bottom G is funny. You look like Andrew Tate. It wouldn't be the first time I've heard that. I'll tell you that much. It wouldn't be the first time I've heard it. Oops, sorry, lol. No, it's cool. It's cool. All for the memes. You should fight Rogan. Yeah, I mean, I do come from a martial arts background. I wouldn't necessarily want to go toe to toe with Rogan. He's a much higher level grappler than I am. But I have competed in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I have competed in like freestyle submission wrestling and stuff like that. Come from a background of like Wing Chun, some MMA, Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. But I really got into the grappling side of things. But you know, to a good level. But I know Rogan is way up there in like 10th planet black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I wouldn't really particularly want to mess with Rogan particularly. I'm pretty sure he would tap me out. But I think I'd put up a good few minutes maybe. I don't know, maybe I'm probably kidding myself on that. But I'm definitely have no. Look, I would absolutely 100%, just for the experience. I would absolutely fight Rogan in a because I wouldn't care if I got my ass whipped. It would just be the absolute experience of doing that. You know, I've spoke to people before. I would fight Mike Tyson. I'd get knocked out in seconds, no doubt. But I would do it just for the crack, just to say I've done it, just to get in there, and yeah, especially if they're paying me as well. Yeah, absolutely. What car do you drive? I don't talk about stuff like that much, really. What colour is your Nissan? It's not a Nissan. It's not a Nissan. It's this. We've got a few cars. My main car is a BMW, and I love my BMW. I've had it for a few years now. It was one of a very few that was made in the series, and I don't I kind of keep it almost like a collector's thing. I absolutely love it. But this is the family vehicle. It's a brand new Citroen Aircross. So it's like an SUV. So it's a pretty cool car. I like it. It's got loads of room for family and shopping and stuff like that. Lowell, you just said you drive a BMW. Yes, I do drive a BMW. Yes, we have a few cars in the household. We have a camper van, we have a BMW, we have a Citroen. I haven't got a Bugatti just yet, but we will see. See what happens with that. So guys, I wanted to finish up with Stable Swap because it's just been such a ton of fun being involved in it and seeing that growing from day to day, every single day. And I'm going to be doing more content in between my drip updates on Stable Swap. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And I've got some very, very fun concepts on how to deliver some pretty, I don't know, I think it's going to be pretty well received when I do finally get round to doing it. And I think, yeah. It came to me during the meditation, so I have to take note of it. I have to take it seriously. I have to take it seriously. So I've taken a note of it and everything. So look, I am gonna have to wrap this up, guys, because it's quite late here in the UK. I need to go and eat something because I've been at it all day. I've been to the gym and I had not eaten enough, but it's been so amazing connecting with you again tonight. Thank you to everyone who's joined the stream. It really is an absolute blessing to spend time with you all on Sunday, on this fine Sunday, coming in from all over the world. And yeah, it just blows my mind every single time. So thank you all for, I found Andrew Tate. There's a lot of Andrew Tate comments coming up in the comments. That's awesome. So thank you all for joining me on the chat. Have an absolute blessed rest of your weekend, if it's still weekend for you. Otherwise, have an amazing week next week. We will reconnect, I'm sure, next week at some point. If you haven't hit the like button, definitely do that on the way out. Like and share the video, subscribe if you haven't already. It'd be awesome to have you as part of the channel, and we'll definitely reconnect again next week, and I'll hopefully be doing a few more updates because DRIP is not showing any signs of stopping. There's going to be a lot more news next week. There's probably news that's happening whilst we've been on the stream that I haven't heard yet, so I will go and chill out and have a little look through the Telegram groups to see what's going on. So have an amazing weekend and have an amazing weekend ahead. Please stay blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.